Sharks, with their sleek bodies and powerful presence in the ocean, have long captivated our imagination. But they have also sparked fear, especially due to certain species that have been involved in attacks on humans. Among these notable species, the great white shark stands out. Known for its size and strength, it has been implicated in a significant number of attacks. These sharks can grow over 20 feet long and are found in coastal waters around the world. Their sharp teeth and powerful jaws enable them to prey on seals and other marine animals, yet, on rare occasions, they mistake humans for their typical prey. Another species, the tiger shark, is also notorious in the realm of human encounters. Recognized for its distinctive stripes and adaptability, it often inhabits warm, coastal waters, and its varied diet means it can be curious about anything that splashes in its environment, leading to potential encounters with swimmers and surfers. The bull shark is particularly infamous, as it can thrive in both salt and fresh water, making it unique among sharks. It is known to inhabit rivers and estuaries, and its aggressive nature further increases the likelihood of interactions with humans, particularly in shallow waters where many people enjoy swimming. The hammerhead shark, with its unusual head shape, is another species that has been involved in attacks. While generally not as aggressive as the bull or great white shark, its presence in popular surfing areas can lead to confrontations, especially during mating season when they may be more territorial. Lastly, the oceanic white-tip shark, often found in deep waters, has a reputation for being bold and curious, which can lead to dangerous encounters, especially with shipwreck survivors or divers. Understanding these species and their behaviors helps shed light on the dynamics of human-shark interactions, emphasizing the importance of respecting these magnificent creatures in their natural habitats, while also recognizing that the ocean is their home, and we are merely visitors. Shark attack statistics have undergone significant changes over the last century, reflecting a complex interplay of various factors, including human behavior, environmental changes, and increased awareness of shark conservation. In the early 1900s, documented shark attacks were quite rare, with only a handful of incidents reported each year. However, as coastal populations began to grow, and more people started to engage in ocean activities, such as swimming, surfing, and diving, the number of attacks began to rise. By the mid-20th century, the increase in beachgoers, combined with advancements in technology, led to more reports of shark encounters, as more people had access to the ocean and more ways to document their experiences. During the 1970s and 1980s, the media played a significant role in shaping public perception of sharks, especially following the release of movies like Jaws, which heightened fears and misconceptions about these animals. This surge in media attention coincided with a peak in shark attack reports, creating a cycle of fear and fascination. As the public became more aware of sharks, there was an increase in research and monitoring of shark populations, leading to better data collection on attacks, which might have contributed to the perception that attacks were on the rise. In recent decades, the statistics have shown fluctuations, with some years experiencing noticeable spikes in attacks, while others reflect a decline or stabilization. Factors contributing to these changes include shifts in ocean temperatures, which can affect shark behavior and migration patterns, as well as changes in prey availability. For example, warmer waters may draw certain shark species closer to shores, leading to increased interactions with humans. Additionally, conservation efforts and regulations on fishing have had an impact on shark populations. As certain species become more protected, their numbers can rebound, which in turn may lead to more encounters with humans. Furthermore, advancements in education about shark behavior and ecology have encouraged safer practices among beachgoers, emphasizing the importance of avoiding areas where sharks are known to feed or congregate. The rise of social media has also played a role in how shark attacks are reported and perceived, with videos and images spreading quickly, sometimes leading to panic or misinformation. Overall, The evolution of shark attack statistics is not solely about the number of attacks, but is also a reflection of changing human interactions with the ocean, ongoing research, and a growing understanding of the ecological role that sharks play in marine ecosystems. Shark attacks, while often sensationalized in the media, are actually quite rare. But there are certain geographic regions where these incidents occur more frequently, and understanding why can provide insight into both shark behavior and human activity. One of the most notable areas is Florida, particularly the East Coast, where warm waters draw both sharks and tourists alike. The state boasts a combination of favorable environmental conditions, such as shallow waters and abundant fish populations, which attract various shark species, including the notorious bull shark and tiger shark. Furthermore, the high number of people participating in water activities, such as swimming, surfing, and fishing, increases the chances of encounters between humans and sharks, resulting in a higher number of recorded incidents. Another significant region is Hawaii, known for its stunning beaches and rich marine life. The warm, clear water is inviting not only to humans, but also to sharks, making it a hotspot for both recreation and shark activity. The presence of reef sharks, which patrol the reefs around the islands, can lead to encounters, particularly in areas where fishing is prevalent, as the fish attract sharks closer to shore. Additionally, the cultural significance of sharks in Hawaiian traditions adds an interesting layer to the relationship between humans and these magnificent creatures, as many locals view them with respect rather than fear. Australia, especially the coastal areas of New South Wales and Queensland, also experiences a notable number of shark attacks. The waters here are home to a diverse range of shark species, including the great white shark, which is known for its size and power. The combination of surfing culture, beach activities, and the presence of marine life creates an environment where humans frequently interact with sharks. Moreover, the seasonal migrations of marine animals, particularly during warmer months, can lead to increased shark activity near popular beaches. South Africa is another region where shark attacks are often reported, particularly along the coast of KwaZulu-Natal. The famous annual sardine run attracts numerous predators, including sharks, as they follow the large schools of fish. This natural phenomenon not only brings sharks closer to shore, but also increases the likelihood of interactions with beachgoers and divers. The presence of both recreational and commercial fishing in these waters further complicates the dynamics, as bait and fish waste can inadvertently attract sharks closer to human activity. In the Caribbean, places like the Bahamas and Puerto Rico also see their share of shark encounters, primarily due to the rich biodiversity of marine life, which draws sharks to these areas. The coral reefs and clear waters are ideal for. In the early 20th century, the relationship between humans and sharks was largely shaped by fear and misunderstanding, which often led to sensationalized reports of shark attacks. During this time, several significant incidents contributed to a growing anxiety about these creatures. One of the most notable events occurred in 1916, along the coast of New Jersey, when a series of attacks led to the deaths of 4 individuals and injuries to another. This event, known as the Jersey Shore shark attacks, happened over a period of just 12 days, and it sparked widespread panic among beachgoers and resulted in a significant decline in tourism. The media played a crucial role during this time, as newspapers reported on the attacks with dramatic headlines and detailed accounts, which fueled public fear. The stories described how a great white shark, or possibly a bull shark, was responsible for these incidents, although experts at the time had limited understanding of shark behavior. This panic was further exacerbated by the fact that the United States was in a period of transformation, with more people enjoying recreational activities at the beach than ever before, thus increasing the potential for human-shark interactions. In the aftermath of the attacks, there were efforts to hunt down sharks along the New Jersey coast, which led to the killing of numerous sharks, but this did not necessarily correlate with improved safety for beachgoers. people began to associate sharks with danger, leading to a perception that they were mindless killers. The early 20th century also saw the beginning of the modern conservation movement, which would later challenge these misconceptions. Scientists, such as Dr. Carl Meyer and others, began to study shark behavior and ecology more closely, paving the way for a better understanding of these creatures. Another significant incident during this period was the shark attack on a swimmer in 1936 at the beach in California, which also captured public attention and further cemented the narrative of sharks as dangerous predators. In literature and film, sharks were often depicted as terrifying monsters, contributing to a cultural fear that persisted long after the actual attacks had occurred. This era laid the groundwork for ongoing discussions about sharks, conservation, and the need for a balanced view of their role in marine ecosystems. The fear surrounding shark attacks was often disproportionate to the actual risk, as statistics showed that the odds of being bitten by a shark were extremely low compared to other dangers in the ocean, such as drowning. Throughout the early 20th century, as more people flocked to the beaches, the advancements in technology have significantly transformed our understanding of shark behavior, particularly in relation to the circumstances that lead to attacks. Through the use of sophisticated tracking devices, such as GPS and acoustic tags, researchers can now monitor the movements and habits of sharks in real time, allowing for deeper insights into their migratory patterns and feeding behaviors. This data has been invaluable in identifying areas where sharks are most active and, importantly, where they might come into contact with human swimmers or surfers. Moreover, underwater drones and remote-operated vehicles have provided researchers with the ability to observe sharks in their natural habitats without disturbing them, enabling a closer look at their interactions with other marine life and their responses to environmental changes. Additionally, advancements in computer modeling and simulation have allowed scientists to create detailed models of shark behavior, which can predict how sharks might react to various stimuli, such as the presence of humans or changes in water temperature. These models help to clarify the conditions under which attacks may occur, revealing that many incidents are not predatory in nature, but rather a case of mistaken identity, particularly in murky waters. Furthermore, the integration of machine learning and artificial intelligence has improved the analysis of vast amounts of data collected from shark tagging and sightings, leading to more accurate assessments of risk factors associated with shark attacks. On another front, the development of social media and mobile apps has fostered a community of shark enthusiasts and researchers who share information and sightings in real time, creating a more comprehensive understanding of shark behavior patterns and their interactions with humans. This increased public awareness can lead to better safety measures, as beachgoers can be informed about shark activity in their area. Additionally, advancements in genetic research have allowed scientists to study the DNA of sharks, providing insights into their population dynamics and health, which are crucial for conservation efforts, and understanding how environmental changes might impact their behavior. Finally, virtual reality and immersive technology have enabled educational programs that raise awareness about sharks, helping people to appreciate these creatures in a safe environment, which can reduce fear and promote conservation. As technology continues to evolve, so too does our understanding of these fascinating animals, ultimately leading to more informed and effective strategies for coexistence between humans and sharks. Media coverage plays a significant role in shaping public perception of shark attacks and their frequency, often influencing how people view these incidents and the animals involved. When a shark attack occurs, it frequently garners extensive media attention, often leading to sensational headlines and dramatic portrayals of the event. This type of coverage can create a perception that shark attacks are more common than they actually are, as the media tends to focus on the most shocking or tragic cases, which can lead to heightened fear and misunderstanding among the public. Research indicates that, while incidents of shark attacks do occur, they are, in fact, quite rare when compared to other risks people face in the ocean, like drowning or injuries from water sports. For instance, the International Shark Attack File, maintained by the Florida Museum of Natural History, has documented that the odds of being attacked by a shark are about 1 in 3.7 million, which contrasts sharply with public beliefs often fueled by media portrayals. Furthermore, the media's use of graphic images and dramatic narratives can lead to a cycle of fear, where people start to associate the beach and ocean activities with danger rather than enjoyment and exploration. This fear can have real-world consequences, such as decreased tourism in coastal areas known for shark sightings, or even a reduction in public support for shark conservation efforts. Interestingly, a study published in the journal Marine Policy found that after high-profile shark attacks, there was a significant increase in negative perceptions towards sharks, which could lead to calls for culling or other harmful measures against them, despite the ecological importance of these apex predators. On the other hand, media coverage can also play a positive role in educating the public about sharks, their behavior, and their importance in marine ecosystems. Responsible reporting, which includes emphasizing the rarity of shark attacks and their ecological role, can help balance the narrative and foster a more informed understanding. Documentaries and educational programs can highlight the beauty and significance of sharks, encouraging a more positive perception and even promoting conservation efforts. Effective communication, therefore, becomes essential, as it can help shift the focus from fear to appreciation, showcasing how sharks, as vital members of marine ecosystems, contribute to ocean health. In conclusion, while media coverage can amplify fears and misconceptions about shark attacks, it also holds the potential to inform and educate, promoting a more nuanced view of these fascinating creatures and their place in our oceans. Environmental changes, particularly those driven by climate change and pollution, have profound effects on shark behavior, which can, in turn, influence the likelihood of shark attacks on humans. As ocean temperatures rise, many species of sharks, including the great white and tiger sharks, are shifting their habitats, moving toward cooler waters, or following the changing distribution of their prey. This migration not only alters the areas where sharks are commonly found, but also increases their interactions with humans, especially in coastal regions where activities such as swimming, surfing, and fishing take place. Furthermore, as ocean temperatures fluctuate, they can affect the reproductive cycles of sharks, leading to changes in population dynamics. When sharks breed more frequently or in larger numbers, this can lead to an increased presence in certain areas, escalating the chances of encounters with people. Pollution, particularly from agricultural runoff and plastic waste, also plays a significant role in changing shark behavior. Polluted waters can diminish fish populations that sharks rely on for food, forcing them to seek alternative prey, which may lead them closer to populated areas. Additionally, pollutants can adversely affect the health of shark populations, impairing their sensory systems, which are crucial for hunting and avoiding danger. For instance, sharks rely heavily on their acute sense of smell to detect prey, and pollutants can interfere with this ability, potentially causing them to behave unpredictably. Moreover, noise pollution from boats and industrial activities can disrupt sharks' communication and hunting strategies. Sharks often use sound to navigate and hunt, and increased noise levels can disorient them, leading to erratic swimming patterns and increased aggression in some cases. When sharks are startled or confused, the risk of an accidental bite can rise, as they may not clearly distinguish between their usual prey and a human. Changes in ocean chemistry, such as ocean acidification, can also have indirect effects on shark behavior. As the ocean becomes more acidic due to increased carbon dioxide absorption, the ecosystems that support prey species, like fish and marine mammals, can be disrupted. This disruption can lead to a decline in the abundance of those prey species, pushing sharks to adapt their hunting strategies, which could bring them closer to human activities as they search for food. In addition to these factors, the rise in sea levels and the frequency of extreme weather events driven by climate change can alter coastal environments, affecting both the habitats of sharks and the patterns of human activity in those areas. As coastal regions become more developed or modified, the chances of human-shark interactions can increase. 4. Survivors of shark attacks often face a range of psychological effects that can profoundly impact their lives, and these effects can vary widely from person to person. Many survivors experience post-traumatic stress disorder, commonly known as PTSD, which can manifest as flashbacks, nightmares, and severe anxiety when recalling the incident, or even when thinking about water or sharks. This condition can lead to avoidance behaviors, where the survivor may refuse to enter the ocean again or engage in activities that remind them of the attack, as they fear experiencing similar trauma. Alongside PTSD, survivors might also grapple with depression, characterized by feelings of sadness, hopelessness, and a loss of interest in activities they once enjoyed, including swimming or surfing, which can further isolate them from their previous social circles. Coping mechanisms vary widely among individuals, and some survivors find strength in talking about their experiences, whether through therapy, support groups, or personal relationships, as sharing their story can be a vital step towards healing. Engaging with mental health professionals, who can provide therapy tailored to trauma, is another common approach. Cognitive behavioral therapy, for instance, has been found effective in helping survivors reframe their thoughts and emotions surrounding the trauma, allowing them to regain a sense of control over their lives. Others may turn to creative outlets, such as writing, art, or music, to express their feelings and process their experiences in a nonverbal manner, which can be incredibly therapeutic. Some survivors also find solace in physical activities, such as yoga or martial arts, which not only help them reconnect with their bodies, but also empower them, fostering a sense of resilience and strength. It's not uncommon for survivors to develop a newfound appreciation for the ocean, leading them to engage in conservation efforts or education about sharks, transforming their traumatic experience into a force for positive change. The journey towards healing can be long and complex, and each survivor's path is unique, shaped by their individual circumstances, support systems, and personal resilience. Ultimately, while the psychological effects of a shark attack can be profound, many survivors demonstrate incredible strength and adaptability as they navigate their recovery, finding ways to reclaim their lives and their love for the ocean. Sharks, often viewed as fearsome predators, hold a complex place in various cultures around the globe, and these perceptions significantly influence how communities respond to shark attacks. In many Western cultures, particularly in the United States, sharks are frequently depicted as villains in popular media, such as movies like Jaws, which has fueled a widespread fear and misunderstanding of these creatures. As a result, when a shark attack occurs, it can spark public outcry, leading to increased calls for culling or other drastic measures, driven by the desire for safety, but often lacking an understanding of the ecological role sharks play in marine ecosystems. Conversely, in some Pacific Island cultures, sharks are revered as sacred beings, often associated with ancestral spirits or considered guardians of the sea. For instance, in Hawaiian culture, certain species of sharks are seen as omakua, or family deities, which instills a sense of respect and protection towards these animals. The cultural belief in the sanctity of sharks often leads to a more nuanced response when shark attacks happen, with communities focusing on coexistence and understanding rather than fear and aggression. They may engage in rituals or practices that honor sharks, reflecting a deep-rooted belief in the interconnectedness of all life and the importance of maintaining balance in the ocean. In contrast, cultures in areas where fishing is a primary source of livelihood might view sharks differently. Fishermen, in some regions, may see sharks as competitors for fish, which can lead to negative attitudes towards them, especially when attacks on humans occur, often resulting in calls for action to protect fishing stocks. However, even within these contexts, there is often a recognition of the need to maintain healthy shark populations, as they are essential for the health of marine ecosystems. In places like South Africa, where shark cage diving has become a popular tourist activity, there is a burgeoning appreciation for sharks, leading to increased awareness about their conservation. When attacks occur, the response may include efforts to educate the public about the rarity of such incidents and the importance of sharks in marine environments, rather than instigating fear. This reflects a growing trend in some cultures to shift from a fear-based view of sharks to one that emphasizes their ecological importance and the need for sustainable interactions. In some indigenous cultures, such as the Maori of New Zealand, sharks are integrated into their mythology and traditions, often symbolizing strength and resilience. This reverence shapes community responses to shark encounters, emphasizing respect and understanding. When attacks happen, the focus. In recent years, popular beach destinations have taken a variety of preventive measures to reduce the risk of shark attacks, as the safety of beachgoers is a top priority for local authorities and tourism boards. One of the most common strategies involves the installation of shark nets along the coastline, which are designed to keep sharks away from swimming areas, while still allowing other marine life to pass through. These nets are often placed in high-risk areas, where shark sightings tend to be more frequent, providing an additional layer of protection for swimmers. Moreover, some beach areas have implemented drum lines, which are baited hooks attached to buoys, strategically placed in the water to capture larger sharks and relocate them away from crowded beaches, thus minimizing potential encounters. In addition to physical barriers, many beach destinations have increased the use of technology to monitor shark activity. This includes the deployment of underwater cameras and sonar systems that can detect the presence of sharks in real time, allowing lifeguards to alert the public if a shark is spotted nearby. Drones have also become a popular tool, as they can survey large areas of water from above, providing a bird's-eye view of the ocean and allowing for quick identification of any marine threats. Education plays a crucial role in these preventive measures, as local authorities often conduct awareness campaigns to inform beachgoers about shark safety. These campaigns typically include guidelines on safe swimming practices, such as avoiding swimming during dawn and dusk, when sharks are most active, and steering clear of areas where fishing is taking place, since bait can attract sharks. Many beaches also offer informational signage, providing tips on what to do in the event of a shark sighting, which helps to prepare visitors and reduce panic during unexpected encounters. In some areas, shark tagging programs have been established, allowing researchers to track shark movements and behaviors. By understanding where sharks are most commonly found, beach safety officials can better predict and manage risks, leading to informed decisions about beach closures or advisories. These tagging efforts not only contribute to public safety, but also enhance scientific knowledge about shark populations, which is vital for conservation efforts. Additionally, some beaches have begun to implement designated swimming areas, which are marked by buoys and ropes, creating safe zones for swimmers while keeping them away from areas where sharks might be more likely to roam. Regular patrols by lifeguards in these designated zones ensure that any potential dangers are monitored closely, providing peace of mind for families enjoying a day at the beach. Finally, community engagement is essential in sharks, often depicted as fearsome predators in movies and literature, have earned a reputation that can overshadow their true nature, influencing public perception and instilling fear. Films like Jaws, which became a cultural phenomenon, depict sharks as relentless killers, creating an image that resonates deeply with audiences, leading many to develop a fear of these magnificent creatures. This portrayal, while thrilling and entertaining, often lacks scientific accuracy, focusing on the sensational aspects rather than the ecological role that sharks play in marine environments. Literature, too, contributes to this narrative, with many novels and stories presenting sharks as the ultimate villains of the ocean, reinforcing the idea that they are dangerous and to be feared. This sensationalism can lead to misconceptions, causing people to view sharks as mindless attackers rather than complex beings that have existed for millions of years, playing a vital role in maintaining the balance of marine ecosystems. The fear propagated by these portrayals can result in negative consequences, such as the overfishing and culling of shark populations, driven by the belief that their presence poses a threat to human safety. In reality, shark attacks on humans are extremely rare, with the risk being far lower than that of other dangers we encounter in daily life. Yet the dramatized images linger in the minds of the public, shaping their understanding and reactions to these creatures. Education becomes essential, as more accurate representations of sharks highlight their behaviors, their importance in the food chain, and the threats they face due to human activity, paving the way for a more informed and compassionate perspective. As documentaries and research-based literature emerge, they provide a counter-narrative to the fear-driven stories, showcasing the beauty and grace of sharks and underscoring the need for conservation efforts to protect these vital species. By shifting the focus from fear to understanding, we can begin to appreciate sharks for what they truly are, rather than the monsters they are often made out to be in popular culture. In examining the demographics of shark attack victims, researchers have identified several interesting patterns that reflect not only the nature of the incidents, but also the activities that individuals are engaged in at the time of the attack. Generally, most shark attack victims tend to be males, with studies showing that around 80% of the reported attacks involve men. This trend might be attributed to the fact that men are more likely to engage in riskier water activities, such as surfing, which is one of the most common contexts for these unfortunate encounters. The age group most often affected typically falls between 15 and 34 years old, which coincides with a time in life when individuals are more likely to seek adventure, participate in water sports, and explore ocean environments. Interestingly, the activity level of the victim contributes significantly to the likelihood of an attack. Surfers, divers, and swimmers are the most common groups involved in shark attacks, with surfing alone accounting for a large percentage of incidents. This may be due to the fact that surfers often mimic the movements of prey species, like seals, which can inadvertently attract sharks. In contrast, those who are simply wading or floating in shallow water generally experience fewer encounters, highlighting how the nature of one's activity in the water can affect the risk of an attack. Moreover, geographical location plays a crucial role in these patterns. Many attacks occur in areas where there is a high population of sharks and where people are frequently engaging in activities like swimming and surfing. Regions such as Florida, Hawaii, and California are known hotspots for shark interactions, influenced by both the shark populations and the number of ocean-goers. Seasonality also affects these patterns, as warmer months tend to see an increase in shark attacks, likely due to more people being in the water, enjoying summer activities. Additionally, time of day can influence the risk, with many attacks occurring in the late afternoon or early evening, when sharks are more active during their hunting times. Understanding these demographic patterns can help in raising awareness about safety in the water and how to minimize risk while enjoying marine environments, allowing for a more informed approach to ocean recreation. Shark attacks, while rare, have sparked significant changes in beach safety regulations, particularly when they result in tragic outcomes. One of the most infamous incidents occurred in 1916 along the Jersey Shore, when a series of attacks led to 4 fatalities and 1 severe injury over a short period. These incidents, which involved a great white shark, resulted in heightened fear among beachgoers, ultimately prompting the establishment of new safety measures, such as the implementation of shark nets and the promotion of public awareness campaigns about the risks associated with swimming in certain areas. Fast forward to 1975, and the movie Jaws, which was inspired by these early attacks, not only shaped public perception of sharks, but also led to increased beach safety protocols. As people became more aware of the ocean's potential dangers, and authorities began to take more proactive measures to monitor shark populations and educate swimmers about avoiding risky behaviors. In 1993, a tragic attack in the Bahamas took the life of a young tourist, and this incident raised alarms about the safety of swimming in certain areas known for shark activity. As a result, the local government instituted stricter regulations regarding water sports and swimming in specific zones, aiming to enhance the safety of visitors and to protect the region's reputation as a tourist destination. Another notable case occurred in 2001, when a surfer was attacked in California, leading to immediate changes in local beach policies, including increased shark monitoring efforts and the establishment of designated safe swimming zones. These incidents often serve as reminders of the ocean's unpredictability, leading to the development of educational programs designed to inform the public about safe swimming practices and the behaviors that might attract sharks. In 2012, the tragic death of a surfer in Maui led to the implementation of more rigorous safety measures, including increased surveillance of known shark habitats and the establishment of a public awareness campaign discussing shark behavior and the importance of avoiding murky waters, where visibility is low and the likelihood of encounters with sharks is higher. The frequency of these attacks, while still low compared to the millions of people who enjoy the ocean every year, has significantly influenced how beach authorities approach swimmer safety. In response to public concern, many locations have embraced technology, such as drone surveillance and electronic shark detection systems, to provide real-time information about shark presence, thereby allowing swimmers to make informed decisions about when and where to enter the water. Ultimately, these infamous shark attacks have not only led to immediate changes in safety regulations, but have also sparked broader conversations. Scientists and researchers collect data on shark attacks using a variety of methods aimed at understanding the circumstances surrounding these events, as well as the behaviors of both sharks and humans. One common approach is the use of incident reports, which are often gathered from various organizations, such as the Florida Museum of Natural History, that maintain databases of shark attack occurrences. These reports typically include details like the location, time, and nature of the attack, as well as information about the victim, such as age, gender, and activity at the time of the incident, which helps researchers identify patterns and trends. In addition to incident reports, researchers often conduct extensive interviews with eyewitnesses, surfers, divers, and emergency responders, gathering first-hand accounts that can provide context and additional insights into each situation. This qualitative data complements the quantitative data collected from incident reports, allowing scientists to gain a more comprehensive understanding of the circumstances that lead to shark encounters. Another significant methodology involves the use of technology, such as satellite tracking and underwater cameras. By tagging sharks with electronic devices, researchers can monitor their movements, behaviors, and interactions with humans in real time, which can help them determine why certain areas have higher rates of attacks. This technological approach allows for a more detailed analysis of shark behavior, including migration patterns and feeding habits, which can inform safety measures for beachgoers. Moreover, scientists often collaborate with governmental agencies and conservation organizations to compile and analyze data on environmental conditions, such as water temperature, tides, and the presence of prey species, which can all influence shark behavior. By examining these factors, researchers can identify potential risk areas and develop predictive models to assess when and where shark encounters are likely to occur. Statistical analysis plays a crucial role in understanding shark attack data as well. Researchers employ various statistical methods to analyze trends over time, compare attack rates in different regions, and assess factors that may contribute to the risk of an attack. For example, multivariate analysis can help determine how different variables, like the time of year or the number of people in the water, affect the likelihood of an attack. In addition to these methodologies, researchers are increasingly using social media and news reports to gather information about shark attacks, especially in real time. By monitoring platforms like Twitter and Facebook, scientists can quickly identify incidents as they occur, allowing for a more immediate response and the opportunity to gather data that might not be captured in traditional reporting. Overall, the combination of incident reports, eyewitness accounts, technological tracking, environmental data, and statistical analysis, sharks, often portrayed as ruthless predators in movies and media, are the subjects of many misconceptions that can lead to unnecessary fear and misunderstanding, particularly following a shark attack. One of the most common myths is that sharks are man-eaters, which suggests they actively hunt humans. In reality, most shark attacks are cases of mistaken identity, where a shark, often a young one, confuses a swimmer or surfer for its natural prey. Like seals, this is especially true for species such as the great white shark, which may bite out of curiosity rather than aggression. Moreover, statistics reveal that shark attacks are extremely rare, with only a small number of incidents occurring each year and far fewer resulting in fatalities. This leads to another misunderstanding, which is the perception that sharks are a significant threat to human life. In comparison, activities like driving or even swimming in open water present a much greater risk to safety, yet they don't invoke the same level of fear or media attention. Furthermore, many believe that all sharks are dangerous, but in truth, there are over 500 species of sharks, and most of them pose little to no threat to humans. Species like the whale shark, which is the largest fish in the ocean, feeds on plankton and is completely harmless. This misconception can also lead to a misunderstanding of the role sharks play in marine ecosystems. As apex predators, they help maintain the balance of ocean life by regulating the populations of various species, and their decline can lead to significant ecological imbalances. Additionally, some people think that sharks can smell blood from miles away, which is an exaggeration. While sharks do have an extraordinary sense of smell, they are more likely to be attracted to a scent from a much shorter distance, often within a few hundred meters. Another misconception is that sharks will repeatedly attack a person once they bite, which is not supported by evidence. Most sharks, after biting, often retreat and do not continue to attack. This myth can perpetuate fear, leading people to avoid the ocean altogether after hearing about a shark attack, despite the fact that most shark encounters do not result in harm. Additionally, some believe that shark attacks happen frequently, but the reality is that they are extremely rare, and when they do occur, they often involve factors such as poor visibility, overcrowding, or the presence of fishing activities. Finally, the portrayal of sharks as evil creatures with a relentless drive to kill is not only misleading, but detrimental to their survival. Shark conservation efforts have faced significant challenges due to the widespread fear of shark attacks among beachgoers, a fear that has been fueled by sensational media coverage and dramatic portrayals in movies, which often highlight sharks as ruthless predators. This fear can lead to a range of reactions, from increased calls for shark culling, where local authorities might be pressured to reduce shark populations in waters near popular beaches, to heightened regulations on shark fishing and conservation. In many coastal communities, the presence of sharks is often viewed as a threat to safety, overshadowing their critical role in maintaining healthy marine ecosystems. Research has shown that sharks are essential for the balance of ocean life, as they help control fish populations and remove sick or weak individuals, keeping the ecosystem robust. However, the fear of attacks can overshadow these ecological benefits, leading to public support for measures that may harm shark populations, such as shark nets and drumlines, which can inadvertently catch and kill non-target species, including other marine animals. Moreover, educational programs aimed at promoting shark conservation often struggle to gain traction in communities where fear is rampant, making it difficult to communicate the importance of sharks and the need to protect them. Efforts to highlight the rarity of shark attacks, using statistics that show you are more likely to be struck by lightning than bitten by a shark, can sometimes fall on deaf ears when a single incident receives extensive media coverage. This media spotlight can create a perception that shark attacks are more common than they truly are, leading to a cycle of fear that complicates conservation efforts. Organizations dedicated to shark conservation have been working to change this narrative, using campaigns that emphasize the ecological value of sharks and attempting to reassure the public that most sharks pose no threat to humans. Some conservationists have also sought to engage beachgoers directly, encouraging them to see sharks as vital parts of the ocean ecosystem rather than threats to their safety. In places where shark tourism is promoted, such as in areas known for shark diving, there is often a positive shift in public perception as people begin to appreciate these creatures up close and learn about their behavior. This can foster a sense of stewardship towards sharks, encouraging beachgoers to support conservation initiatives rather than fear them. However, the challenge remains that in many regions, the emotional response to shark attacks can sway public opinion and policy in ways that may not be in the best interest of marine conservation. Thus, while there are efforts to bridge the gap between fear and understanding, the task remains daunting. Shark attacks, while rare, can lead to a complex web of legal ramifications, affecting not only the victims, but also local authorities and businesses in the vicinity. When a shark attack occurs, the immediate concern is often the health and safety of the victim, who may face significant medical expenses, emotional trauma, and potential long-term rehabilitation. Victims may seek compensation for their injuries through personal injury lawsuits, which can entail proving negligence on the part of local authorities or businesses that might have a responsibility to ensure the safety of beachgoers. For instance, if a beach area is known for shark activity and authorities fail to provide adequate warning signs or implement safety measures, they could be held liable for not taking reasonable steps to protect the public. Additionally, local governments may also find themselves in a legal quandary after a shark attack. They are tasked with ensuring the safety of their public spaces, including beaches, and may face lawsuits if they are perceived to have neglected their duties. This can lead to a financial burden on municipalities, which might need to allocate funds for legal battles or increase safety measures, like shark nets or surveillance. Furthermore, the presence of sharks in popular swimming areas can lead to a decline in tourism, impacting local businesses that rely on beachgoers for their livelihood. If a business is situated near a beach where a shark attack has occurred, they might experience reduced customer traffic, leading to potential claims for lost revenue. In some cases, businesses might attempt to sue for damages, claiming that the local authorities did not properly manage the risks associated with shark attacks. On a larger scale, there can be regulatory implications, as governments may decide to enforce stricter regulations on beach activities, like banning swimming during certain times of the year when shark sightings are more frequent. This could lead to a ripple effect, influencing local economies and the way communities engage with their natural environment. Additionally, the media coverage surrounding shark attacks can amplify public fear, prompting a public outcry for more protective measures, which may lead to further legal actions against local authorities or businesses that are seen as not doing enough to ensure safety. In the aftermath of an attack, there can be a rush to implement new policies, which might include more comprehensive shark monitoring programs or public education campaigns about the risks associated with the ocean. These initiatives, while aimed at improving safety, can also spark debates over the balance between recreational enjoyment and the conservation of shark populations, which are vital to ocean ecosystems. The legal ramifications of shark attacks, therefore, extend. When examining the dangers posed by nature, many people often think of shark attacks as a significant threat, but when we compare them to other natural hazards, like lightning strikes and drowning, the perspective shifts dramatically. Shark attacks, though they attract a lot of media attention, are quite rare. In fact, the International Shark Attack File notes that there were only 57 confirmed unprovoked shark attacks worldwide in 2020, with just 10 resulting in fatalities. This means that the odds of being attacked by a shark are extremely low, roughly 1 in 3.7 million. In contrast, Drowning is a much more common issue, with the World Health Organization reporting that over 236,000 people drown each year, making it a leading cause of unintentional injury death globally. The fatality rate for drowning is significantly higher, especially in children and young adults, where it often ranks among the top causes of death. Lightning strikes, although less frequent than drowning, also pose considerable risk. In the United States alone, about 20 to 30 people are killed by lightning each year, while hundreds more sustain injuries. The likelihood of dying from a lightning strike is about 1 in 1.2 million, which, while higher than the risk of a shark attack, is still relatively low compared to drowning. When we look at these statistics, it becomes clear that while shark attacks capture our imagination and fears, they are not nearly as deadly as drowning or even lightning strikes. The perspective shifts further when considering that most people engage in water activities or spend time outdoors, exposing themselves to the perils of drowning or lightning more than they ever would to a shark. This highlights the importance of understanding the actual risks we face in our everyday lives, rather than focusing solely on sensationalized threats like sharks. In essence, the fear of shark attacks, while valid in certain contexts, is often overstated compared to the silent and more prevalent dangers that lurk in our natural environment, reminding us that the real challenge lies in recognizing and mitigating the risks we encounter on a daily basis. Social media and viral videos have transformed the way we communicate, share, and consume information, especially regarding topics like shark attacks, a subject that often stirs both fear and fascination. In recent years, platforms such as Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok have become crucial in shaping public perception about sharks, their behavior, and the incidents involving them. When a shark attack occurs, videos and images often surface online, capturing the public's attention and spreading rapidly, which can lead to both positive and negative consequences. On one hand, these viral moments can raise awareness about the risks of shark interactions, prompting discussions around safety and conservation. Educational content, shared widely, can inform people about how to behave in ocean environments, highlighting the importance of understanding marine life rather than fearing it. People are more likely to engage with visually compelling stories, so when a gripping video shows the aftermath of an attack, it can drive home the point about respecting wildlife, and it may even encourage viewers to learn more about how to protect both themselves and these creatures. Moreover, social media allows organizations and activists to share critical information about shark conservation efforts, often using powerful imagery and narratives that resonate with the audience. This is important because, while shark attacks grab headlines, the true stories often revolve around the necessity of preserving shark populations and their habitats. The footage can sometimes put a human face on the statistics, showing not only the impact on victims, but also the broader ecological implications of declining shark numbers. As these videos circulate, they can spark conversations about the misconceptions surrounding sharks, including the realization that sharks are vital to ocean health, which can help mitigate fear and foster a more balanced understanding of these majestic creatures. Additionally, social media campaigns can mobilize communities, encouraging people to participate in beach cleanups or educational programs, thus shifting the focus from fear to proactive engagement with marine environments. When influencers and everyday users post about their ocean experiences or share personal stories about encounters with sharks, it can demystify these animals, showing them in a different light, one that emphasizes respect and appreciation rather than fear. This kind of engagement can lead to increased public support for marine conservation policies, as awareness grows around the need to protect sharks and their ecosystems. However, it's essential to consider the potential downsides of sensationalized content. When videos focus primarily on the shock value of shark attacks, they can perpetuate fear and misunderstanding, leading to negative attitudes towards sharks and calls for harmful measures, like culling or increased fishing. The challenge lies in marine biology has played a vital role in unraveling the mysteries surrounding shark attacks on humans, and it has brought forth a wealth of information that helps us understand why these encounters occur. Sharks, being complex and varied creatures found in oceans around the world, have long captured the fascination of scientists and the general public alike. Through extensive research, marine biologists have identified several key factors that often lead to shark attacks. One significant aspect is the natural behavior of sharks, as they are apex predators that rely on their keen sense of smell and electroreception to hunt for prey. Many attacks on humans are believed to be cases of mistaken identity, where sharks confuse surfers or swimmers with their usual prey, such as seals or fish. This confusion is especially prevalent in murky waters, where visibility is limited, making it harder for sharks to distinguish between different shapes in the water. Moreover, marine biology has shed light on the feeding patterns of sharks, revealing that certain species are more likely to engage in attacks during specific times of the day or in certain conditions. For instance, some studies show that sharks are more active during dawn and dusk, times when they may be hunting and more prone to encountering humans. Understanding these patterns helps researchers and beachgoers recognize when it might be riskier to enter the water. Additionally, research into shark populations and their habitats has highlighted how environmental factors such as water temperature and the presence of prey influence shark behavior. When prey is abundant, sharks may venture closer to shore, increasing the chances of human encounters. Furthermore, ongoing studies in marine biology have emphasized the importance of shark conservation, as declining shark populations can lead to imbalances in marine ecosystems. Healthy shark populations help control populations of other fish, and when these predators are removed from the ecosystem, it can result in an overabundance of smaller fish, which can then affect the entire food web. This interconnectedness illustrates how understanding shark behavior is crucial, not just for human safety, but for the health of our oceans. Another interesting aspect that marine biology has revealed is the role of human activity in shark attacks. Activities such as fishing, oil drilling, and pollution can alter shark habitats, potentially leading to increased encounters with humans. For example, fishing can reduce the natural prey available for sharks, which may then lead them to explore new areas, including those frequented by people. Understanding these interactions helps marine biologists develop better strategies for coexistence between sharks and humans, promoting safety while also protecting these magnificent creatures. Research has one of the most remarkable stories of survival and transformation comes from Bethany Hamilton, a professional surfer who, at just 13 years old, survived a shark attack while surfing in Hawaii. After losing her left arm to the shark, she faced tremendous challenges, both physically and mentally. But instead of letting this experience define her, she became an advocate for sharks. Bethany has spoken openly about her experience, emphasizing the importance of understanding sharks and the need for their conservation, rather than fostering fear. Her story, which inspired the film Soul Surfer, highlights her resilience, and she regularly encourages others to appreciate sharks as crucial parts of the ocean ecosystem. Another notable survivor is Mike Coots, a photographer and surfer who lost his leg to a shark in a surfing accident in Hawaii. Like Hamilton, Coots turned his traumatic experience into a platform for advocacy. He has dedicated his life to educating the public about sharks, especially about their vital role in marine ecosystems. He often uses social media to share his journey, to raise awareness about shark conservation, and to dismantle the myths that surround these incredible creatures. Coots emphasizes that shark attacks are rare and that sharks are not mindless killers, but rather, they are essential for maintaining the health of ocean environments. Then there's the story of Paul de Gelder, a former Australian Navy clearance diver who survived a shark attack in Sydney Harbour. After losing part of his arm and leg, de Gelder became a passionate advocate for sharks. He has appeared in various documentaries and television shows, often discussing the misconceptions about sharks and their behavior. Paul encourages a deeper understanding of these animals, arguing that they are often misunderstood and are, in fact, critical to marine health. Through his motivational speaking and television appearances, He aims to inspire people to protect sharks and their habitats, promoting a message of coexistence rather than fear. Lastly, consider the inspiring journey of survivor and filmmaker Chris Lowe, who not only survived a shark attack, but also became a leading voice in shark research and conservation. As the director of the Shark Lab at California State University, Long Beach, Lowe uses his experience to educate others about shark behavior and ecology. He shares his story to highlight how sharks are often the victims of human activity rather than the dangerous predators they are often portrayed to be. Lowe advocates for sustainable practices that protect sharks and their environments, revealing the complex relationships they have within the ocean ecosystem. Through his work, he showcases how personal experiences can lead to broader movements. Local economies that rely heavily on tourism, particularly in coastal areas where shark attacks can occur, face a unique challenge in balancing safety and attraction. On one hand, the thrill of being near the ocean, engaging in activities like swimming, surfing, and snorkeling is a major draw for visitors, but the fear of shark attacks can deter potential tourists. To navigate this delicate balance, many regions implement comprehensive safety measures, such as regular monitoring of shark populations, educating the public about shark behavior, and providing guidelines for safe ocean activities. For example, some coastal municipalities employ beach patrols, which not only monitor for shark activity, but also ensure that swimmers and surfers are aware of any potential risks. These patrols often communicate with local fishermen, who can report sightings, thus creating a community-based approach to safety. Moreover, tourism boards often conduct public awareness campaigns that emphasize the rarity of shark attacks, highlighting statistics that show how unlikely an encounter is. These campaigns may feature messages like, "You are more likely to be struck by lightning than to be bitten by a shark," helping to alleviate fears. Additionally, many areas have invested in creating shark-safe zones, where activities like swimming are encouraged, while areas that might be more prone to shark sightings are clearly marked and monitored. This zoning can help visitors feel more secure in their choices, knowing that there are designated safe areas for their enjoyment. Local economies also tap into the fascination with sharks by promoting ecotourism activities that allow visitors to learn about these creatures in a safe environment. For instance, guided boat tours, where tourists can observe sharks from a distance, not only educate people about their behavior and ecological significance, but also provide an adrenaline rush that many seek. This approach not only fosters a deeper appreciation for marine life, but also supports local businesses that offer such experiences, thus creating a win-win situation for both safety and tourism. Event organizers sometimes incorporate shark awareness into festivals or community events, where educational booths, guest speakers, and interactive exhibits about marine life can attract visitors while promoting safety. By celebrating the local environment and its wildlife, these events can shift focus from fear to fascination, encouraging tourism while still addressing the concerns of potential visitors. Furthermore, local businesses, like restaurants and shops, often feature shark-themed products or dishes, which can serve as conversation starters and draw in curious tourists, creating a connection between the community and its marine environment. In conclusion, the challenge of balancing the risks of shark attacks with the need to attract visitors requires a multifaceted approach. Shark attacks, though rare, often lead to significant changes in legislation related to marine wildlife protection and beach safety, as communities and governments strive to balance public safety with the conservation of marine ecosystems. When a shark attack occurs, it can trigger immediate public concern, leading to calls for stricter regulations, such as increased shark monitoring programs, which involve tagging and tracking sharks to better understand their behavior and movements. This data can be crucial, as it helps to identify patterns that might predict when and where sharks are more likely to be present, allowing for better safety measures to be put in place. In many cases, after an attack, local governments may implement temporary beach closures or increase signage warning swimmers and surfers about the presence of sharks, which reflects a proactive approach to safety. This can also lead to discussions about the effectiveness of existing safety measures, such as lifeguard presence, shark nets, or the use of drones for surveillance, prompting legislative bodies to evaluate and enhance these strategies. Furthermore, these incidents often ignite debates about the ecological role of sharks, leading to stronger advocacy for their protection, as many marine biologists emphasize that healthy shark populations are essential for the balance of marine ecosystems. As a result, some regions may see new laws aimed at protecting sharks and their habitats, recognizing that these apex predators play a vital role in maintaining the health of ocean environments. Legislation can also expand to include stricter penalties for illegal fishing practices that threaten shark populations, ensuring that conservation efforts are taken seriously. Additionally, these events can foster collaborations between government agencies, conservation organizations, and local communities, aiming to create comprehensive management plans that prioritize both human safety and the preservation of marine life. Moreover, public awareness campaigns often emerge in the wake of shark attacks, aimed at educating beachgoers about the importance of shark conservation and the reality of the risks involved in ocean activities. These campaigns may include educational programs in schools, community workshops, and partnership events with marine biologists, promoting a better understanding of sharks and their behaviors, thereby helping to reduce fear and misinformation. In essence, shark attacks serve as a catalyst for change, influencing a variety of legislative measures that aim to enhance beach safety while simultaneously promoting the protection of marine wildlife, ensuring that the delicate balance between human activity and ocean conservation is maintained. The result is a complex interplay of public sentiment, scientific research, and legislative action that seeks to address immediate concerns while fostering a long-term vision for sustainable marine ecosystems. Shark attacks, while rare, can have significant impacts on local communities, both economically and socially, creating a ripple effect that touches various aspects of life in coastal areas. Economically, one of the most immediate consequences of a shark attack can be a decline in tourism, especially in regions heavily reliant on beachgoers and water sports enthusiasts. When an attack occurs, potential visitors may become anxious about their safety, leading to a reduction in the number of people flocking to the beach for swimming, surfing, or diving. This drop in tourism can hurt local businesses, such as restaurants, hotels, and shops, which thrive on the influx of visitors during peak seasons. As the number of tourists declines, local jobs tied to these industries may also be at risk, causing financial strain for families and communities that depend on this seasonal income. Socially, the aftermath of a shark attack can lead to heightened fear and anxiety within the community. Media coverage often sensationalizes these events, which can exacerbate public fear and lead to misconceptions about the actual risks associated with shark encounters. This fear may result in community members feeling less safe in their own environment, altering their daily routines and recreational activities. Additionally, there may be a push for measures such as increased shark culling or the installation of nets and barriers, which can create divisions within the community. Some residents may advocate for the protection of sharks, recognizing their ecological importance and the role they play in maintaining healthy marine ecosystems, while others may prioritize safety and economic interests. This division can lead to social tension, as differing opinions clash over the best way to manage the local shark population and ensure community safety. Furthermore, the psychological impact of a shark attack can extend beyond immediate fear, affecting the mental health of those who live in the area. Community members may experience increased anxiety, not only about potential attacks, but also about the general safety of engaging in water activities. Such psychological effects can lead to a decrease in the quality of life for residents, as they may avoid participating in beach-related events or activities, impacting community cohesion and social interaction. The trauma from an attack can reverberate through families and friendships, leading to discussions and fears that linger long after the initial incident. In conclusion, while shark attacks are statistically rare, Their implications for local communities are multifaceted and significant, intertwining economic challenges with social dynamics and highlighting the delicate balance between human activity and wildlife conservation. Shark attacks, though relatively rare, have had a significant impact on how diving and surfing are approached, both from a safety standpoint and in shaping public perception of these activities. Historically, incidents of shark attacks have instilled a sense of fear and caution among ocean enthusiasts, leading to the development of various practices aimed at enhancing safety. For instance, surf schools and diving instructors have begun to incorporate shark awareness training in their programs, teaching participants about shark behavior, how to minimize risks, and what to do in case of an encounter. This educational approach fosters a more informed community, where surfers and divers are not only more aware of their surroundings, but also more respectful of the marine ecosystem. Moreover, after notable shark attacks that garnered media attention, such as the infamous attacks in the summer of 1916 along the New Jersey coast, there has often been a surge in shark prevention measures, including the establishment of shark nets and the use of drumlines in popular surf areas. While these measures aim to protect beachgoers, they also spark conversations about the ecological consequences of such interventions, as they can inadvertently affect other marine life. This ongoing discussion has led to a more nuanced understanding of the relationship between humans and sharks, which, in turn, influences how surfers and divers approach their activities. In surf culture, the portrayal of sharks in movies and media, often sensationalized, has added to the intrigue and mystique surrounding these creatures. This fascination has led to a counter-movement where surfers advocate for shark conservation, recognizing that sharks play a vital role in maintaining the health of ocean ecosystems. Events like shark tagging and research expeditions have become popular among divers, allowing them to engage with these magnificent animals in a safe and educational manner. Additionally, the fear stemming from historical shark attacks has prompted advancements in technology and gear, such as the development of shark deterrent devices. These tools, designed to deter sharks from approaching divers and surfers, reflect the evolving nature of safety practices in the water. While some enthusiasts embrace these innovations, others prefer to rely on traditional methods of awareness and caution, creating a diversity of approaches within the surfing and diving communities. As a result, the influence of historical shark attacks continues to ripple through the world of water sports, shaping not only safety practices, but also the culture surrounding them. The balance between thrill-seeking and safety is an ongoing conversation, as surfers and divers navigate their love for the ocean with a respect for its powerful inhabitants. The legacy of past attacks serves as emergency response teams play a crucial role in the aftermath of a shark attack, as they are trained to handle such critical situations with precision and care. When a shark attack occurs, the first step is often to ensure the safety of the area, as well as the individuals involved, which includes assessing the scene for any further danger, such as the presence of additional sharks or other potential risks, like rough waves or rocky shorelines. These teams, made up of professionals from various fields, including law enforcement, medical personnel, and lifeguards, quickly coordinate their efforts to provide immediate assistance to the victim, applying first aid, controlling bleeding, and stabilizing the individual until more advanced medical help arrives. In addition to tending to the injured, emergency response teams also work to gather information about the incident, interviewing witnesses, and gathering details about the attack, which can help researchers and authorities understand shark behavior and improve public safety measures in the future. They often collaborate with marine biologists and conservationists, who can provide insight into the species involved and the conditions leading up to the attack. This information is vital, as it contributes to larger efforts aimed at educating the public about shark behavior, promoting safe practices while swimming or surfing, and ultimately, fostering better coexistence between humans and these magnificent creatures. Moreover, after the immediate medical response, emergency teams often engage in outreach and support for the victim's family and friends, as the emotional and psychological impact of such traumatic events can be significant. They may provide resources for counseling or connect families with support groups, ensuring that the community can come together to heal after such a shocking incident. Furthermore, emergency response teams frequently participate in debriefings after incidents, discussing what went well and what could be improved in their response protocols, which not only benefits future responses, but also enhances training for new team members. This continuous learning process helps ensure that they are always prepared to face the unique challenges posed by shark attacks, which, while rare, require a swift and effective response to minimize harm and support those affected. Through their dedicated efforts, these teams contribute not only to the immediate safety and health of individuals, but also to the broader understanding and management of human-shark interactions, paving the way for safer environments in coastal areas, where both people and sharks can thrive. Shark attacks, while rare, often capture the public's imagination, and stories from different countries reveal fascinating cultural responses that highlight both fear and fascination. In the United States, for instance, the infamous 1916 shark attacks along the Jersey Shore spurred a wave of panic and led to the establishment of organized shark hunting, showcasing a culture that responded with fear, leading to increased beach safety measures and more aggressive shark control policies. Conversely, in Australia, where shark encounters are more common, there is a different attitude. After a series of attacks in the 2000s, the government initiated programs that focused on education about marine life, including sharks, rather than outright eradication. This reflects a cultural connection to the ocean, promoting coexistence and understanding of these creatures, rather than solely viewing them as threats. In South Africa, where the great white shark draws both tourists and surfers, stories of attacks often emphasize the balance of respecting nature and the thrill of adventure. Local surfers recount tales of close encounters, often highlighting their respect for the shark's territory, understanding the importance of these apex predators in marine ecosystems. In Hawaii, the cultural response to shark attacks is deeply intertwined with local beliefs and traditions. After an attack, there is often a reflection on the spiritual significance of sharks in Hawaiian culture, with some suggesting that attacks serve as reminders to respect the ocean and its inhabitants, which leads to a more introspective response rather than one driven by fear. In the Caribbean, particularly around the Bahamas, where shark diving is a popular tourist attraction, the narrative shifts again. Here, locals tend to share stories of friendly encounters with sharks, highlighting a cultural appreciation for these creatures, and many communities actively promote shark conservation, seeing the value in preserving the species for ecological balance and tourism. Each of these stories illustrates not just the diversity of experiences with shark attacks across the globe, but also the varied cultural attitudes towards these fascinating, yet often misunderstood, marine animals. Researchers study the anatomy and feeding habits of sharks by employing a variety of methods, which help them understand their attack patterns on humans more effectively. One of the primary ways they gather data is through the examination of shark anatomy, using dissections and imaging techniques, such as X-rays and MRIs, to get a detailed look at the internal structures of these fascinating creatures. By analyzing their teeth, jaws, and digestive systems, scientists can gain insights into the types of prey sharks typically consume, which can provide clues about their behavior and feeding patterns. For example, researchers have found that certain species of sharks have teeth adapted for gripping and tearing, while others have flatter teeth suited for crushing hard-shelled prey, which reflects their dietary preferences. Field studies also play a crucial role in understanding shark behavior. Scientists use tagging and tracking technologies, such as GPS and acoustic tags, to monitor shark movements in real time. By knowing where sharks travel, when they are active, and how they interact with their environment, researchers can identify patterns related to feeding and hunting. For instance, some sharks are known to migrate long distances in search of food, while others may display more localized feeding behaviors. Observing these movements can help researchers determine when and where sharks are more likely to come into contact with humans. In addition to direct observation, researchers often analyze the stomach contents of sharks that have been caught, which can reveal what they have eaten recently. This analysis can show if sharks have consumed fish, seals, or even garbage, providing valuable information about their diet and how human activities may influence their feeding habits. Furthermore, forensic methods are sometimes used to study bite marks on victims or on marine animals, allowing scientists to match these bites with specific shark species, which can help clarify the circumstances surrounding shark attacks. Collaboration with local fishermen, beachgoers, and dive operators also enriches researchers' understanding of shark behavior. By gathering anecdotal reports and historical data on shark encounters, researchers can paint a broader picture of how often sharks come into contact with humans and under what conditions these encounters occur. This citizen science approach allows scientists to tap into a wealth of information that might otherwise remain unrecorded. Another important aspect of studying shark feeding habits is the role of environmental factors, such as water temperature, salinity, and the presence of baitfish, which can influence shark behavior and their likelihood of coming close to shore. By monitoring these environmental conditions, researchers can predict when sharks are more likely to be present in certain areas. When researching shark attacks and their impacts, both on humans and sharks, several ethical considerations come into play, which researchers must carefully navigate to ensure the integrity of their work. First, there is the need to respect the lives and welfare of the sharks, as they are often misunderstood creatures, facing significant threats from human activities, including fishing, habitat destruction, and climate change. Researchers must consider the potential harm that might come to sharks if they are captured or tagged for study. Invasive methods can cause stress, injury, or even death to these animals, complicating the ethical landscape of research. Moreover, when studying shark attacks on humans, it is essential to approach the topic with sensitivity, acknowledging the fear and trauma that can arise from such incidents. Researchers should ensure that their work does not sensationalize these attacks, which can lead to public panic and further harm to shark populations through increased culling or negative perceptions. This calls for a balanced representation of data, emphasizing both the rarity of shark attacks and the ecological importance of sharks in marine ecosystems, as they play a critical role in maintaining the health of ocean environments. Additionally, there is the ethical responsibility to communicate findings accurately and responsibly to the public. Researchers must avoid using sensational language that might skew public perception, creating unnecessary fear around sharks, which can lead to misguided conservation efforts. Transparency in methodology, as well as acknowledging potential biases in data interpretation or collection, is crucial for maintaining credibility. Involving local communities in research efforts is another ethical consideration. Engaging with people who live in areas prone to shark attacks can provide valuable insights while also fostering understanding and cooperation. Researchers should aim to educate communities about sharks, promoting coexistence and safety strategies, rather than portraying them solely as dangerous animals. Furthermore, researchers need to consider the potential implications of their findings, particularly if they suggest new policies or practices regarding shark conservation and human safety. This involves a careful assessment of how such recommendations might affect both human communities and shark populations, ensuring that they do not inadvertently lead to adverse consequences for either side. Overall, the ethical considerations in researching shark attacks and their impacts are multifaceted, requiring a balance between scientific inquiry, respect for wildlife, and a commitment to public education and safety. Each of these elements plays a vital role in shaping a responsible approach to understanding the complex relationships between sharks and humans, emphasizing the need for thoughtful, ethical research practices in this field. Survivor accounts of shark attacks can vary widely, both in the way they describe the encounter and in the emotions they express during and after the incident. Some survivors recount the moment with a clarity that is almost shocking, describing the water, the sounds, and even the sensations of the shark's bite in vivid detail. For many, The initial encounter is often described as surreal, with feelings of disbelief and confusion. They might mention how time seemed to slow down, or how they felt detached from their bodies, almost as if they were watching the event unfold from a distance. Others may focus on the physical sensations, detailing the pressure of the bite, the rush of water, and the instinctual responses that kicked in, such as the immediate urge to fight back or swim away. Emotions play a significant role in these narratives, as survivors often experience a whirlwind of feelings during and after the attack. Some describe an overwhelming sense of fear, not just from the proximity of the shark, but also from the realization of their vulnerability in the ocean. For others, there is a moment of calm that precedes the chaos, as they process what is happening. After the attack, survivors may describe feelings of anger, frustration, or even guilt, questioning what they could have done differently or why they were in that situation at all. Many speak about the long-term emotional impacts, including anxiety when returning to the water, or nightmares that revisit the encounter, while some may exhibit resilience, using their experience as a platform to educate others about shark conservation and ocean safety. Interestingly, the nature of the encounter can also shape these narratives. Some survivors have had encounters with sharks that were more exploratory than aggressive, describing the shark as curious rather than threatening. This can lead to a more nuanced understanding of the animal, fostering empathy rather than fear. Conversely, those who experienced more aggressive behavior often report stronger emotional scars, as the encounter feels like a direct attack on their safety. The aftermath can also differ. Some survivors find solace in community support, sharing their stories to help others, while others may isolate themselves, struggling to process their trauma alone. Cultural background and personal beliefs also influence how survivors recount their experiences. For instance, those who view sharks as majestic creatures may frame their stories to emphasize the need for protection of these animals, while others might focus on the dangers of the ocean, advocating for caution and respect. This divergence in perspectives can lead to varied emotional responses, from empowerment in advocating for shark conservation to fear. In recent years, several initiatives have emerged to educate the public about safe practices when engaging in water activities in shark-prone areas, as awareness of shark behavior and safety measures is crucial for both human and marine life. One prominent initiative comes from organizations like the Shark Research Institute, which produces educational materials aimed at informing the public about the behaviors of sharks, their habitats, and the best practices to follow when swimming, surfing, or diving in waters where sharks may be present. Their campaigns often include engaging brochures, informative websites, and social media outreach, all designed to teach people how to minimize the risk of shark encounters. Similarly, local governments, particularly in coastal regions known for shark sightings, often collaborate with marine biologists to host community workshops and public seminars. These events provide valuable information on understanding shark behavior, recognizing warning signs, and knowing the times and places where sharks are more likely to be active. Attendees can learn about the importance of not swimming alone, avoiding fishing areas, and even how to identify safer swimming zones. Another initiative is the Shark Smart program, launched in several countries, which focuses on educating beachgoers through signage and informational kiosks placed along popular beaches. These signs often highlight shark safety tips, such as avoiding swimming during dawn or dusk when sharks are more active, and staying in groups, as sharks tend to target solitary individuals. Additionally, some regions have implemented mobile apps that provide real-time updates on shark sightings, enabling swimmers and surfers to make informed decisions about entering the water. Moreover, several conservation groups have taken it a step further by creating partnerships with schools and universities, integrating shark education into science curricula. Through hands-on activities, students learn about the role sharks play in marine ecosystems, fostering a sense of respect and responsibility toward these often misunderstood creatures. These educational programs aim to dispel myths surrounding sharks, emphasizing their importance in maintaining the health of ocean habitats. In some areas, volunteer programs have been established, allowing local residents to participate in beach cleanup efforts and shark monitoring projects. By getting involved, volunteers not only contribute to the conservation of marine environments, but they also gain first-hand experience and knowledge about shark behavior and safety practices in a practical context. Additionally, social media campaigns featuring shark experts and marine conservationists have gained traction, where they share videos and live sessions to educate the public about sharks and safe water practices. These platforms allow for a wider reach, engaging with audiences who may not have direct access to. The rise of shark tourism, particularly through activities like cage diving, has sparked interesting discussions about its impact on shark behavior and human interactions in the ocean. While some may think that attracting more people into shark habitats would lead to an increase in shark attacks, research indicates that the relationship is more complex than it seems. In regions where shark tourism is popular, such as in South Africa and Australia, studies have shown that, surprisingly, the frequency of shark attacks on humans has not significantly increased, despite the higher number of divers and snorkelers entering the water. One reason for this could be that sharks, when accustomed to the presence of humans, often associate them with food sources, especially if they are being fed during tours. However, this feeding behavior is often controlled and regulated, which minimizes the risk of sharks becoming aggressive towards humans. Moreover, the presence of cage diving operations often leads to better education and awareness about sharks, their behaviors, and their ecological importance. Tour operators typically emphasize the need for conservation and the preservation of shark populations, which can foster a more respectful relationship between humans and these magnificent creatures. The increase in shark tourism can lead to a greater understanding of sharks, shifting the perception from fear to fascination. This change in understanding can also encourage local communities to protect sharks rather than fear them, as they recognize the economic benefits that come with ecotourism. In some areas, the establishment of shark tourism has even led to stricter regulations on fishing and habitat protection, contributing to healthier marine ecosystems. However, there are concerns among scientists about the long-term effects of increased human activity in shark habitats, as any change in behavior could potentially alter predator-prey dynamics in these ecosystems. Sharks are essential for maintaining the balance in marine environments, so it is crucial to monitor how tourism impacts their natural behaviors. While the relationship between cage diving and shark attacks is not straightforward, it is clear that responsible tourism, when conducted with proper guidelines and respect for wildlife, can lead to both economic benefits for communities and a greater appreciation for these apex predators. As we continue to explore the ocean and engage in activities that bring us closer to wildlife, understanding the effects of our presence on their natural behaviors becomes paramount. This ongoing relationship between shark tourism and human interaction highlights the need for continued research and responsible practices to ensure that both humans and sharks can coexist safely in the vast underwater world. Shark attacks during wartime have a fascinating, yet often overlooked, historical significance, impacting not only the individuals involved, but also the broader scope of military operations. During World War II, for instance, the Pacific Theater became notorious for shark attacks on soldiers who found themselves in the water due to downed aircraft or shipwrecks. The most infamous case occurred after the sinking of the USS Indianapolis in 1945, when survivors, stranded in the ocean for days, were subjected to relentless shark attacks. This tragic event not only highlighted the dangers posed by sharks, but also affected military morale and public perception of the war. The psychological impact of these attacks was profound, as soldiers and sailors faced not only the enemy, but also the lurking threat of sharks. Fear of encountering sharks in the water influenced operational decisions, including the tactics used in naval warfare and the way troops were trained for amphibious assaults. In some instances, the Navy had to reconsider rescue operations, knowing that the longer men remained in the water, the more vulnerable they became to predation. This led to changes in protocols, emphasizing the need for quicker recovery of personnel whenever possible. Additionally, the presence of sharks played a role in shaping the narratives around heroism and survival. Stories of individuals fighting off sharks or surviving against all odds became part of the lore of wartime experiences, fostering a sense of resilience and bravery among those on the home front. These tales often served to bolster public support for the war effort, as they highlighted the challenges faced by service members in ways that resonated with civilians. Moreover, shark attacks during wartime brought about a greater focus on marine biology and the behavior of sharks. Military interest in understanding these creatures increased, leading to research that sought to identify patterns in shark attacks and develop strategies to minimize risks for troops at sea. This scientific inquiry not only advanced knowledge about sharks, but also contributed to the development of safer practices for naval operations, such as improved life vests and signaling devices that reduce the time soldiers spent in the water. Interestingly, the cultural impact of shark attacks during wartime has also been significant, influencing literature, film, and art. The dramatic nature of these incidents captured the public's imagination, leading to portrayals of sharks as formidable adversaries, not just in nature, but in the context of human conflict. This phenomenon can be seen in various media representations, which often dramatize these encounters, further embedding the image of sharks as both natural predators and symbols of the unpredictable dangers of warfare. Overall, different regions of the world categorize and report shark attacks in various ways, often leading to discrepancies in the data that can confuse researchers, policymakers, and the public alike. In the United States, for instance, the Florida Museum of Natural History compiles data on shark attacks through its International Shark Attack File, which classifies incidents based on a set of criteria that includes the type of interaction, the species of shark involved, and the circumstances surrounding the encounter. They categorize attacks into different types, such as unprovoked, provoked, and misinformation, which helps to clarify the nature of the interaction and provides a clearer picture of human-shark relationships. In contrast, countries like Australia have their own systems, often relying on local fisheries departments or research institutions to report and analyze shark incidents, which can lead to variations in definitions and reporting standards. For example, in Australia, an attack might be classified differently based on whether the person was surfing, swimming, or engaged in another activity, while in the US, the focus may be more on whether the shark was acting defensively or aggressively. Additionally, some regions may not report incidents at all, either due to lack of resources, fear of negative publicity, or cultural beliefs surrounding sharks, which can further skew the data. Moreover, discrepancies can arise in how attacks are recorded and reported over time. For instance, the increase in awareness and media coverage of shark incidents in recent years may lead to a rise in reported attacks, not necessarily because there are more attacks happening, but because more incidents are being documented. The use of social media also plays a role, as people share their experiences online, which can lead to a greater public focus on the issue, and this can influence how incidents are classified or perceived. Furthermore, some regions may have stricter definitions of what constitutes an attack, while others may include a broader range of interactions, such as near misses or sightings, thus leading to inconsistent databases. In certain areas, local laws and regulations can affect how attacks are reported. For example, some countries may have laws that require immediate reporting of any shark-related incident, while others may allow for more discretion, leading to underreporting in some regions. This variability can make it difficult to compare shark attack statistics globally. What one country considers an attack, another might view as a non-event. Additionally, there is the challenge of language and terminology, as different regions may use varying terms to describe the same type of incident, causing further confusion in international datasets. In recent years, a variety of preventative technologies have been developed to help reduce the risk of shark attacks, which, while rare, can be a source of concern for beachgoers and ocean enthusiasts. One of the most well-known innovations is the use of shark deterrent devices, which aim to keep sharks away from popular swimming areas. These devices include electric deterrents that emit a low-frequency pulse, creating an electric field that is thought to be uncomfortable for sharks, causing them to steer clear of the area. Some companies have also developed wearable devices for surfers and divers, which can be attached to their gear, emitting similar signals to deter nearby sharks. Additionally, there are sonic deterrents that use sounds to disrupt the hunting patterns of sharks. These devices mimic the distress signals of prey, which can confuse sharks and deter them from approaching. The effectiveness of these deterrents, however, can vary depending on the species of shark and environmental factors, leading researchers to continue exploring and refining these technologies. Monitoring systems have also seen significant advancements, with the implementation of aerial surveillance and drone technology becoming more common in coastal areas. Drones can patrol the waters, providing real-time information about shark activity. These unmanned aerial vehicles are equipped with cameras that can capture images and video footage, enabling lifeguards to spot sharks before they pose any danger to swimmers. Some beaches have even begun using sonar technology, which can detect large animals in the water. This technology can help alert beach officials to the presence of sharks, allowing them to take preventative measures such as closing the beach temporarily or issuing warnings to swimmers. Another interesting approach has been the installation of smart buoys, equipped with sonar and satellite technology, which can monitor shark movements and provide data to researchers and local authorities. These buoys can help track shark populations and movements, giving scientists vital information about migration patterns, breeding grounds, and the effectiveness of various deterrent techniques. This data is also crucial for conservation efforts, as it allows for better understanding of shark behavior and ecology, ultimately leading to improved safety measures for humans and better protection for sharks. Furthermore, some researchers are looking into the use of chemical deterrents, which involve substances that can be released in the water to make the area less appealing to sharks. While still in experimental stages, these methods hold potential for future applications, offering a non-invasive way to reduce shark encounters. As the technology continues to evolve, the collaboration between scientists, beach management teams, and technology developers grows increasingly important. The study of fossilized shark teeth and ancient shark behavior offers valuable insights that help us understand shark attacks today, revealing patterns, adaptations, and behaviors that have persisted over millions of years. When scientists examine fossilized shark teeth, they can determine the types of sharks that lived in different geological periods, alongside their sizes and diets. For instance, the teeth of prehistoric sharks, such as Carcharodon megalodon, which lived around 23 to 3.6 million years ago, provide clues about their predatory habits, indicating they were apex predators that likely hunted large marine animals. By comparing these ancient sharks to modern species, researchers can identify evolutionary traits that have remained consistent, such as the development of sharp, serrated teeth designed for cutting through flesh. Ancient shark behavior, inferred from fossilized remains and ecological data, shows how sharks adapted to their environments, which informs us about their hunting strategies and social behaviors. For example, if we consider the fossil evidence of grouping behaviors in certain shark species, it suggests that some sharks may have hunted in packs, which is a behavior observed in some modern sharks as well. Understanding these behaviors can help us analyze the circumstances of shark attacks, especially in areas where shark populations have historically thrived, indicating that these locations are likely to be hotspots for encounters with humans today. Moreover, studying the wear patterns on fossilized teeth can reveal dietary preferences of ancient sharks, helping scientists to infer what prey was available and how it influenced their hunting methods. This, in turn, can inform our understanding of the ecological role sharks play in maintaining balance in marine ecosystems, as well as how changes in prey availability might lead to increased interactions with humans. For instance, if a particular species of fish that sharks typically preyed upon becomes scarce due to overfishing or environmental changes, sharks may begin to explore new food sources, including human activities near the shore, which can lead to increased shark attacks. Additionally, fossilized teeth provide insight into the geographical distribution of ancient shark species, allowing researchers to map where certain types of sharks were prevalent and how climate changes influence their migration patterns. This information can be crucial in predicting where modern sharks might be found, and which areas could see a rise in shark-human interactions. For example, if fossils indicate that a species thrived in a particular region during a warmer climate, it may suggest that with current climate changes, those species could return to those areas, increasing the likelihood of encounters with swimmers and surfers. Finally, by integrating future research directions focusing on the relationship between sharks and human interactions are becoming increasingly significant, especially as we seek to balance marine conservation with human activities. Scientists are exploring various angles, such as the impact of shark populations on coastal ecosystems and how these dynamics affect human interactions. Researchers are investigating the behavior of sharks in different environments, using advanced technologies like underwater drones and acoustic tagging, which allow for real-time tracking of shark movements. This helps scientists understand how sharks respond to human activities, such as fishing and water sports, and whether their behavior changes in response to increased human presence. Moreover, studies are being conducted to assess the effectiveness of shark conservation measures, like protected areas, and how they influence shark behavior and interactions with humans. Understanding which habitats are critical for sharks and how they overlap with human recreational areas can provide insights into minimizing conflicts. This research also delves into the social behavior of sharks, examining how they communicate and interact with each other, which can shed light on their reactions to human presence. Another exciting area of research involves the genetic analysis of shark populations, helping scientists understand their diversity and resilience. By investigating how different shark species adapt to environmental changes, researchers can better predict how they might respond to increasing human activity in marine environments. The role of environmental factors, such as water temperature and pollution, in shaping shark behavior is also being studied, as these elements can significantly influence interactions with humans. Public perception and education play a crucial role in this relationship too, and future research will likely focus on understanding how to effectively communicate the importance of sharks in marine ecosystems to the public. Engaging communities in conservation efforts and promoting awareness about the ecological roles sharks play can lead to a more harmonious coexistence. Additionally, researchers are looking into the psychological aspects of human-shark interactions, studying how fear and misconceptions about sharks can lead to negative outcomes, both for sharks and for people. With the rise of citizen science, involving the public in data collection and monitoring shark populations also presents a promising avenue for future research. This not only enhances the understanding of shark behavior, but also fosters a sense of stewardship among communities. By encouraging local involvement, scientists can gather more data and insights into the intricate relationship between sharks and humans, paving the way for more informed management strategies that benefit both parties. As research continues to evolve, it holds the potential to transform our understanding of these magnificent creatures and create a safer, more respectful interaction with them in the years to come.